Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FTRL. It is week 2 of our GT2 Championship, rounds 3 and 4 of season 9. This week coming from glorious Goodwood for our sprint race. For later on, we head to the Cathedral of Speed, also known as Monza, for the second race of the evening. Joining me on comms tonight is FTRL stalwart himself, Mr. Pagani. Good evening, Paul.
Afternoon.
How are you?
It's going to be an interesting night race, I believe.
Indeed, Goodwood. It's quite a simple track, but it's fraught with dangers. Primarily the green stuff that's all around it.
It's a simple track, but it's very difficult to be quick at.
Yeah, I say it's a simple track. But, say it's very easy to make a mistake. Quite narrow. A couple of tricky corners. The first corner itself is quite tricky, just to know as to get a decent run through it. You're looking at sort of a double apex, but you also have to drift quite wide out just to keep your speed up as well, which we might see a number of cars running up on the outside there. And of course we've got the penultimate corner as well, which is kind of again a slightly double apex, high speed, double right-hander, which tightens up quite severely on exit as well, and also fraught with danger. So a lot for the drivers to get their teeth into tonight.
It is indeed, and we have seen overtakes there in the past. I remember Tom and Smith doing 1-4 around there.
Yeah, it wasn't the cleanest of overtakes, but it was an overtake, yes.
Oh.
It did end in disaster, but he did manage to sneak through. So we'll see what.
I only remember it because it gave me a podium in the last time.
Tough season that one, yeah. So it wasn't a lot of fun in the GTR, remember that. And then not a lot of circuits were fun in that Group 4 GTR, to be fair. So, of course, I think this is the first time we've been here in a Group 3 car, actually, isn't it?
I believe it is, which isn't going to be the easiest.
No, so well, they've got a lot more aero, so they have more grip at least. So I think they'll be able to keep them stuck to the black stuff. But we shall see. And a little bit of shot keeping to do is that we have a wild card being played tonight. That is being played by Team Green, aka Team Iggy. So Fever, Unsafe Release, and Michael will be scoring double points this week. How do you think they're going to get on?
Well, they might not have the best cars for Goodwood, but I think Monza will be very, very strong. Pretty fast cars besides SPY's Ford.
They have to be a bit confident here because they're playing. Obviously, the feature race does take more points, so it would make sense to focus on that. But they must be confident of getting solid points in this first race at least. But who do you think is going to be the ones to watch around Goodwood?
For everybody in the lobby, I'd say watch out for Zom because his wheels, the thing holding his wheel to the desk has just snapped. So yeah, he might not be in full control of his car, hence why we have a little bit of it there. Dear.
To be fair, I mean, I've been in lobbies with him in Switchback a couple of times going up to this week, and they look very strong. Zom especially look very strong around here. In the Beatles, so that could be two to watch. Carl, obviously, their teammate in the Peugeot. Again, that's a car that should suit this track, so I know they weren't feeling very confident about the second race, which obviously they played their wild card in week 1, so they currently sit first, second and third in the championship.
It's a brave play to use your wild card at race 1, but I mean, we'll see if it pays out towards the end of the season. Maybe they didn't do too badly first week, but I think they want to get a few more points on the board, but you can't expect perfection in those.
Yeah, but I think that's just again testament to how close GT2 has become as a championship. Now there are six or seven race winners in this league alone, and probably 10 drivers who could win a race in the right circumstances.
To be fair, the FTRL's GT Sport League is just bonkers in general. I remember season 1, season 2, I think there was 4 guys that could win a race total, and now we've got sort of like 10 in each division that can win a race every time out. It's super competitive, and I'm slightly scared because I'm a bit shit.
Mr. 3 Championships claiming he's a bit shit there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I got mine in early when everybody else was there.
Before the quality was poor, yeah.
Yeah, so... But, like I say, I mean, anybody could be up there, we don't know.
It's a race to race, you don't know who's going to win. Of course, we had wins last time out for SBY in the sprint race from Dragon Trail Gardens, and then Michael became victorious in that epic duel with his teammate Unsafe Release in the feature race at Seaside.
I was say, it was a fantastic battle to commentate on, but we never... I mean, Iggy didn't enjoy the battle because he was trying to tell them to calm down, but yeah. Oh, we've got Aaron straight in the chat, one hashtag Go Team Aaron.
Well, his boy Bonzo currently sits top of the practice standings. I know that he's been earmarked as one to watch for this race, the Toyota clearly suiting Goodwoods. Beautiful sky blue, ashy, liveried Toyota FT1.
Yeah, Team Pagani's wounded, we've lost a Panda. I mean, they're very difficult to lose. I mean, they're quite big, but he found a Skoda Fabia, so now he's driving that in real life. So yeah.
Well, it is. Yeah, it's built like a brick. Outbuilding, so that should doing well. I think the historic reputation of Skodas, I think, has long been put to bed. Not actually nice cars, they're basically just reshod VWs now, aren't
It would have been nice to see one GT Sport, but...
let's go back a bit of GT Sport.
I can't remember.
I have a feeling it has. I have a feeling I've driven the an Octavia somewhere, but anyway, looks like we're about to get underway. So, driving those 2 marks, qualifying is about to begin.
Just like real life motorsport, Zom has used a shitload of duct tape to try and hold his wheel to the desk. So.
Right, who is first onto track?
I wouldn't say it's the first one off the track at Thermal.
Tom's the first one on track, so we're going on board with him then for a lap around Goodwood. And this first, not even much of a straight, it's kind of you're always kind of just turning right a little bit, then you've got this very fast sort of chicane, flick in, get back over to the left hand side, and then this tightening left hander which gets narrow on exit, right up to the white line there, over the small crest, and then down to third gear for the double right hander. Running a little bit wide. This is what I was doing the other night with them off the track. And that's Michael through. And then onto the back straights again. A short straight with a bit of a kink in it. Flick left, and then driving down towards a couple of corners. Oh, so trying to find a way through. Just finds the backers on.
I think it's safe wants to be through.
Onto this speed is quite a tricky double right hander. Again, narrows on exit, and then this dangerous chicane, another death chicane on Gran Turismo Sport. Not quite as lethal as the Dragon Trail Seaside one, but very easy to make a mistake, and then you got over the start finish straight and onto your lap. So again, Michael will be the first one to set a lap, so we'll keep an eye on him.
There's an awful lot of track, but it would appear that everybody wants to go on the same piece.
Michael's wide through the. I'd say it's not even much of a corner there, so I don't know why he's ended up on the grass, but it's Michael for you.
Yeah,
you were trying to jinx me last week. So, yeah, true. You tried to jinx me last week, so I'm going to jinx him, and I hope he goes off again. Go on, Michael. Go off. Go on, there you go. Yes! Works! I have the power. So Michael's off. Hopefully that'll be the first of many. And he's getting back for all the times in F1.
F1's coming.
Yeah, but he's not commentating on it, likely, so I'm safe.
Can you hear that?
Well, well, we shall see. So next, Cats will be the first one to put a laptop. He's a little bit deep into the chicane. He's very sideways. Unsafe Release runs into the back of him. That's not gone well for either of those two. Falling over each other. Hits the front. You've got a clean lap in behind all that carnage going on ahead of him.
It is a trouble with qualifying. You do need to find your own space. Everyone's pushing on and liable to make a mistake. I've done it myself, and you feel so foolish, but yeah.
So So first set lap times in, Donzo fastest, and he's going purple in the first sector. Junkie Sport has popped himself into P2, just 2/10 shy. Prototype Steph up in P3. He was feeling reasonably confident around here, so two of Team Aaron's cars in the top 3 at the moment.
Well, SPY's immediately come back to the pit lane.
And, we had a bit of an off, just wanted some fresh rubber, get him to a bit of clear track as well.
Of course, I said that, but on my screen, SPY's stuck in the pit lane, so that's always
Oh,
good.
we're having this again, are we? Right, you want? Well, also if Cats are having a repeat, as Cats again gets the final chicane very wrong. This time, however, he gets so wrong he falls out of Unsafe Release way. Unsafe Release does not improve. Cats is now backwards at the final corner at the moment. Iceman comes around the final corner sideways.
Maybe I choose the Nexus thing, that you have to go sideways at the last corner.
Maybe. Go car in P7 at the moment.
To be fair, it might have been one for me. The team who only lead,
you were very sideways last week. I remember in the main race at Brands Hatch, you came around Graham Hill Bend and decided that you were going to drift down the straight towards McLean's.
Yeah. Oh my word. SPY's car is mating with Nexus Cats' car, so that's no, it's bounced. It's on top of. Oh, okay. That's how baby cars are formed. I can't look at that.
This is FTRL PG18. Iggy straight in with reported.
Yeah. I'm actually the car on top of the other one.
We saw this in the Nations Cup a little bit, and SPY was on track, so hopefully that'll sort itself out in the race. I'm sure he's there somewhere, but not posted anything in the lobby to say he's stuck, so fingers crossed.
Visual glitch like it was last time.
So Zom momentarily stole pole position away, but Donzo right behind him uses slipstream and takes it back, but Zom up to P2, so that form he's been showing all week. Definitely still there.
Nice when he drifted in the pit lane, which considering how tight the pit lane entry is, was quite a feat.
So, about halfway through the session then, Donzo on pole position. Still circulating, chasing Zom, who's now P2, Junkie Sport in P3, so two of the TNT Smith cars going well so far. Prototype Steph P4, and you've got Fever Beaver in P5, just ahead of his teammate on safe release, and Michael right behind him, so Team Iggy 5th, 6th and 7th. Next Cats is now P9 as somebody's just jumped up. It's SBY, so despite him being stuck in the pits on our screen, he's clearly circulating. This has just gone to P5. Just Cats sideways again. Carp in the top 10.
I'm going to have to rely on watching the stream for the rest of qualifying because my camera is locked on Michael, which is never a good thing. So, yeah.
Very true, that is not a good thing at all. Next is Iceman is P11, he's just about to start a new flying lap. Mikey P12, and Switchback is struggling at the moment. Not set a competitive lap time yet, he's down in 13th. Into the final chicane. Again, it's not a particularly quick lap.
Switchback has been threatening, I'm sure what he can do. 13th lap.
Of course, last season when we came here in the Group 4s, he won from pole position. So he's got form at this track, but struggling in the session at the moment.
I think that's what happens when you pick a Beetle, but Zom is currently P2, so it's just Zach. Yeah. Zom's Beetle aged well, clearly Zach's has gone sour. Yeah, I think Zom maybe left this out in the countryside and just sideways in the background is one of the green Mercedes. It is Fever. Still pushing on. I mean, has it improved? Well, it's been very consistent, which is a good sign for the race.
So yeah, so 10.7 to 9.9, 10.3, 10.3, 10.9. So yeah, he's lapping consistently. See, I was doing the FA. Oh, gee, he caught the grass there on the outside and has a big wobble at our top speed. So I was. Switchback finally gets a decent lap in, goes P3. Zom meanwhile is sideways coming out of the chicane. That is turn 3. doing donuts.
Zom tried really hard to get out of the way and ended up spinning back into the way, which, yeah.
Real issues.
Fingers crossed his wheel stand does hold up, being made of gaffer tape. Yeah,
Right.
everything.
Donzo now holding off the entirety of Team T Smith, who's on second, Switchback third, and Junkie Sport fourth. So the white team putting the pressure on, but it is the Team Aaron Man, who is currently 0.2 of a second up on his current best. Can he improve? As Unsafe Release goes fastest. Donzo only goes second, so Unsafe Release finding some speed. The circuit, a lot of people say weren't going to suit this Mercedes, so he's proving them wrong. Junkie Sport now goes fastest.
I mean, I must say Carl's been very quiet this week with his board, which is unusual for him, so yeah, looks like he's been getting his head down. Maybe getting a few tips from team leader Tom in the same car.
Dave Michaels popped himself up to P4 and Steph P5, so Zom and Zach, having been second and third a moment ago, now 6th and 7th.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's still car mating.
Mikey is going very sideways across the grass. He's found a wall and has stopped. Sporting a very nice new all blue Nutella livery Mercedes, but currently mowing the lawns. He's found the track again. SBY has now popped himself to P2, so the track is rubbering in, and the times are falling. Donzo responds. 13 thousandths of a second. Back into pole position. So the order, so Unsafe Release, having been at pole position a moment ago, and still being just over a tenth of a second off pole, is now P4.
I mean, for reference, we thought our Brands Hatch GT1 qualifying was close. Top 4 covered by a 10th.
I think it wasn't much different in Brands Hatch, was it? In fact, the whole field was covered by half a second at Brands Hatch. That was an absolutely crazy session. Junkie Sport is purple in the first sector, so can he respond to Donzo? Stay aboard with him. Goes into the right hander, a little bit away from the apex there, looks like it had a bit of a slide.
SBY's improved, he's the first person in the 8s.
Junkie Sport still up. There's the purple sector again. SBY's finding some speed, stretching the field out a little bit again. Donzo responds, but it's not enough. Junkie Sport into the final chicane. Where is he going to end up? Tries for the line, but he's lost in the final sector. Doesn't improve, so battle on into the final minute then. SBY now sits fastest of all, just 0.045 ahead of Donzo. Junkie Sport in third, and Safe is fourth. Michael fifth, Steph sixth, Zom seventh. He on the game is stuck in the pit lane, but I imagine he's probably circulating somewhere. Switchback now goes fastest, and by nearly half a second as well, so he's had a lot of time. He's burnt some fuel off.
Right behind Michael, so maybe they hit the slipstream.
That's a big gap as well. It's very tightly bunched, and suddenly Switchback puts half a second into the field.
Junkie Sport is in the gravel, he will not be improving.
Donzo at the final corner. SBY. Donzo goes second. Just leapfrogs his mate SBY, who's on his final lap. Unsafe Release goes second, but again he's still only 0.3 of a second, 3.5 tenths down on Switchback, so that is a hell of a lap. Switchback, what can SBY do? He's probably going to be the last one to challenge. He's out the far side of the circuit. Mikey's...
So Switchback behind him, Michael's flying the chicane. Want to help.
No, Michael is not going to improve. Switchback doesn't improve either. SBY coming into the final couple of corners with a big drift. Oh, he's clipped the inside of the wall and has a spin out the final corner, so that ends his chance to take pole. So it is FTRL Switchback who will take pole position with a 108.3. Stunning lap from him.
All I want to say there is Mikey was very committed to that last corner. Flipped the grass but held the slide nice.
Indeed, so that's few guys just cruising round. Qualify ends, so Switchback pole position for round 3 ahead of Unsafe Release, Donzo and SBY making up top 4. So, podium predictions then, Mr. Pagani, what are we saying?
Anyone but Zach, please. No, Zach is looking pretty quick. He was very quick, like you say, last season on here in Group 4, so very difficult to look past him, but I will. I'm going to go SBY for the win, Unsafe P2, and we'll go Nexus Cats for P3.
Team was a stunning start from Unsafe Release as expected. That Mercedes just flies off the line and into first place. My prediction, I'm going to go Donzo for the win. I'm going to go Unsafe for second, and I'm going to put Switchback third. That's mine. C Posh reckons Donzo Switchback Unsafe. Aaron has gone with you. Anybody would Zach for the win.
Mikey's had a wiggle.
Oh, Switchback's off.
Oh yeah. That's terrible shame.
Can't get hold of him. Where is he? He's somewhere up. He's somewhere between Mikey and Goik up. He clipped the grass on the outside, and he's all the way down to 12th. So it's been a horrible first lap for him.
Well, for reference, for if anybody's watching this later, but GT Sport did update today, and rules are that slipstream has been halved the gap you need. So yeah, at the moment
7.5 a second.
Really safe is out of slipstream range.
Indeed, and he's going to lead the first lap. Donzo second, SBY third, GT Sport fourth, holding off the two other Iggy cars, Michael and Phoebe. Coming round to complete the first lap. Cats is the P7. There was a bit of a gap back to Steph. Then you've got Zom, Iceman, side by side the background, going Carp and Switchback. He's trying to fight his way back. He's up into 11th.
Switchback managed to tag just onto the back of the field, so he's still there.
He's got a lot of overtaking to do now. He's going to get back into contention for the win. Only 7.5 seconds off the lead though. Right on the edge of the track there, so he's pushing. Oh, sent an Iceman into the chicane. I think the Iceman is expecting that one. And up to P10, so Switchback on the charge.
Exactly what he was saying, I know for a fact.
Back of the lead, Unsafe is starting to be caught just slightly. Donzo and SBY giving pursuit behind them, side by side. Junkie Sport is overtaken by Michael.
Down the inside of his own Junkie Sport as Junkie Sport has a massive slide as Nexus Cats running.
Oh, Phoebe! Oh my god, Phoebe arriving sideways into the final chicane, almost hit the inside wall. Well, Michael's had a moment coming out of the chicane, and Junkie Sport's got him back. The leaders. And it is still Unsafe Release. He leads Donzo second, SBY third.
Aaron isn't particularly happy with that.
We've got a bit of
this battle for fourth it's a 5-car trade.
It is indeed. Cats is deep there, Zom. So we've got Junkie Sport with Michael, Phoebe, Prototype Steph, Cats and Zom in a train. Switchback is clambering to get back on terms. Two Subarus behind them, squabbling for that final couple of points. Monkey doing some learning. Background now, it's now Donzo has got the magnets on and is onto the tail of Unsafe. So we can run to complete lap 3.
That 4GT looks massive. It's a very low car, but it is so long.
The big
how it's going to fit through the chicane area, very hard.
Battle for the lead, now just 3.5 tenths and closing. dropped SBY a little bit. He's 1.3 seconds back, so he's a little bit of no man's land at the moment. He's got 2 seconds back to the train led by Junkie Sport. Michael and Fever, Steph, Katz and Zom. Switch back, getting closer.
Through battle towards the back. Goy's just got up the inside of Nexus Iceman, coming out of turn 1.
Goy can't with a legitimate overtake.
Go on, Goy. Sorry, I'm impartial. No, go on, Nexus Iceman. I'm Team Pagani. Oh, Donzo's making a move for the lead.
Through he goes, but he's got straight on. Oh, he's just about gathered it up. But SBY is going to be close. And Safe just about held it on track as well.
Oh, Faber in the background is completely sideways. He's been
reset. He's almost been up the inside of the chicane.
Oh, Nexus Cat's in the foreground. I don't know if he got pushed wide, but
Switchback
very sideways through the chicane.
Well, we've seen him sideways through the chicane already, so it's probably his own doing, but Switchback was making sure he was there to take advantage. Cat's sliding around turn 1 as well. And that's kind of split this battle up a little bit now, so Junkie Sport is back under attack from Michael, who's up the inside, but he thinks better of it. Oh, Michael's carried some speed there though.
That mistake from Donzo. SBY did capitalise in the end and they went up turn 1.
Indeed he is, up into P2. That's given Unsafe for a lead, a 2-second lead again. It's also Michael at Junkie Sport. Michael back into contention. And now just 1.5 seconds behind. Go back before the podium.
He clipped the grass going out turn 1, but didn't have a very big accident, just had a very bad. So keep on, man. Keep learning.
Steph has got his mirrors full of beetles and has pressured him off to a spin as he spins out the final corner, got on the grass and round he goes. That's an easy position for Zom, switchback. He's going to drop all. Oh, it was contact with Goy, who's got into the pits. I don't know if he intended to go into the pits, but he's in the pits. Dear. That's not gone well.
I must say that was a very safe redraw from Steph. He's normally very, very good, but yeah, he just pulled straight across the track, and unfortunately, Goy ended up in the pit lane.
Well, he's gone for a tyre change, so he's going for the undercut.
It's upset Goy's rhythm now. He's come on the pits and had a spin at turn 1, unfortunately. So, unfortunate for Goy.
I hope he's got enough fuel to get him to the end anyway, so drivers that a little later on. Unsafe release leads, but that gap is coming down to now just to 1.2 seconds. SBY closing him down. He's bringing Donzo with him. Michael is up into P4, so he's clear Junkie Sports. Zom closing on them as well. And he's bringing Switchback with him. And then a bit of a gap back. And it's the two Mercedes battling for 8th and 9th. Nexus Cats and Fever. Seeing a little bit more in line. Oh, Iceman's hit the chicane. Final corner. Now stuck on the inside. Here comes Steph through. Pick up a place. Going Carp after his pit stop. Topped up with fuel. Steph pits. Maybe in sympathy. Next last man has freed himself from the final chicane.
We're just going to ball a guy and he's going around again. I think that incident just knocked him completely out of his rhythm, which is something you need at Goodwood.
Indeed, right. The gap for the lead is down to 0.8 of a second. So SBY is pretty much in slipstream range. Donzo coming as well.
The gap down to switchback was 7 seconds. It's now 6.5, so this entire train is closing up on the leader as Switchback makes a mistake.
Oh, Unsafe's off at the final corner as well, and that's giving SBY a run, and we're going to have a change for the lead. And through goes SBY. Change for the lead then. So SBY, Team Throne leads Unsafe down to P2, and Donzo is right there as well, to the top 3. Are covered by just 7/10, so everybody in slipstream range. Michael is closing as well. Just over a second back.
Quickest out of the top 4, but quickest on that lap last time through was Zach. So
Zach has had an off somewhere because he's dropped behind Nexus Cats. like he's been off somewhere again. Got yellow flags.
Massive slide up the corner. I believe that yellow flag is Mikey.
That's okay, yes it is. Yep. Good to see the planes on the infield, I believe.
We have a Mercedes long one.
Back for P2. Comes looking to the outside of unsafe into the penultimate corner. But on the way through, and Michael is there now, so we've got 4 for the lead. 2 more coming. Does anybody peel off this time? Donzo pits, so he's going for the undercuts. Oh, at the final corner, Zom's had a moment.
Well, I mean, he's just got less than half a tank of fuel, so he's going to
It's that Toyota. I think it's that Toyota's tank. It's quite small. I know it's saying it's a bit smaller. There's the amount of laps they can get in, so put a bit of fuel in, but it means you can push to the end. It's out from his pits with P8 ahead of switchback. P10 coming round. Got the next Iceman called Carp. And Mikey is reversing into the pit lane currently. Back with the leaders. SBY continues to lead. And so for this, and Michael though, right in his wheel tracks.
Michael might have a slight issue because it does have less fuel in the front of the route.
Diesel's going to stop a little bit longer. Corvette, thirsty girl. Also into the battle at least. Does anybody peel off this time? SBY pits, unsafe release pits, Michael pits, top 3 in. Junkie Sport carries on.
But the last time Michael had to follow a car into the pit lane, he crashed, so he's improved.
Indeed, SBY on his way. Unsafe release on his way. Donzo leapfrogs Michael out the pits, so Donzo gets the position back. Traditionally SBY and unsafe have less fuel in than Donzo and Michael.
I don't think SBY and unsafe put anything in, because they had about half a tank when we came in.
So they're possibly okay then.
Donzo and Michael have put maybe half a lap in and a lap extra, so
they'll be pushing to the end. Switchback and Cats side by side. Switchback down the inside, through he goes. Good move. Could have been for Switchback, well on pole. But then off on the first lap, dropped into the back. He's been fighting back ever since. Up to P7, yellow flag again. Oh, that is Zom, who's had a spin at the second of the right-handers there, so he's dropped him back down the order. It's a shame for Zom because he was going so well there as well in practice.
It's unfortunate for Zom, but I really don't think his wheel situation is helping him.
Probably not, no. Now, Sport's carrying on, and I wonder if he's trying to no-stop. I wonder if he's trying to no-stop.
But, look at his rear left.
His rear left is pretty cooked. SBY behind him, 4.6 seconds at the moment. And closing. There he is.
I mean, it's a brave strategy call. However, don't let me look at that rear left tyre at all.
Go back going between Steph and Fever. P8 and P9. Steph recovering after that spin. So that gap is down to 3.7 seconds already, so SBY taking chunks of time out of Junkie Sport. What does Junkie Sport do? Does he carry on? Does he... No, he's carrying on again. Does look like he's trying to no-stop this race.
It is a brave call, but like you say, he's lost 1.4 seconds in a lot.
Down to 3 seconds now. Still right on the charge. Safe release and Donzo closing up as well. Safe not able to bridge that gap to SBY, so that was our top 4, now kind of strung out a little bit. Michael lost quite a bit of time with all that extra fuel he's had to put in, but comfortable in P5, switchback up to P6, but it's 10 seconds between switchback and Michael. So he's lost out quite heavily through the pit stop cycle.
That fellow City boy, I didn't think that the rear left tyre liked me either, but... Yeah, me and City Porsche have got this ongoing thing now.
Steph has had an off at the first corner.
Very easy to do, unfortunately.
Indeed, dropped in behind Zom, who's back up to P9.
However, Steph is on 0 acceleration, so I'm wondering if he's waiting for Goy. Did have an incident with him earlier.
Could be right. Oh, he's gone off a goal.
I say that he's gone off again.
He's gone
massively.
right off. He's going into the weeds. It's been reset. So Steph's starting to struggle a little bit now as well. He's going to lose a place to Iceman here as well if he's not careful. Iceman goes around the outside. So Steph has he's just setting himself up for a good starting position at Monza.
Well, SBY is right on the back of Junkie Sport now.
So Junkie Sport, with 5 minutes to go, has a battle for the lead.
Donzo is right on the back of Unsafe.
They've also started to close as well, about half a second out of that gap to SBY. So Donzo flicks the inside, that'll be the outside for the penultimate corner. It's difficult to go around the long way. Bit of panel bashing. He's going to try it. Oh, what a move. What a move from Donzo.
Fantastic.
Great respect shown from Unsafe. And those two have just bridged that gap to Junkie Sport Pits. Now, that's an interesting call to go so late. Just tyres.
When you say that, but he hasn't
changed his tyres. Has he just... Oh dear. I don't think he meant to do that. I think he meant to change his tyres. And I bet he's changed up gear as he's gone into the pit lane. Dear. So...
Unsafe and Donzo contact!
Wobble, and they are right on the back of SBY now as well, so we've got 3 for the lead again.
These boys continue fighting. It's going to allow Michael to close up. That gap was nearly 3 seconds. It's down to 2.4.
Oh, SBY's gone!
SBY!
He's clipped the grass on the outside and around he goes.
It is very easy to clip that piece of grass. I've done it myself.
Indeed, and that puts Donzo back into the lead of the race. So, down to 2. Michael in a comfortable 3rd.
One safe, had a massive wiggle up in the penultimate corner.
Michael as well having a bit of a moment. So looking squirrely under power at the final corner as well.
Oh, Michael! Oh. That was fully crossed up to the left, going down the
switchbacks into the wall at the final corner. Through goes SBY.
Sorry, Zach.
They're closing up as well.
Look, Zach had been setting very fast lap times until that point. But yeah, there is a limit. You've got to learn when it's just going that little bit too much.
So Donzo leads by 1.1 seconds. Just under 3 minutes remaining now. So for his second, Michael not really bridging that gap anymore. He's holding it at about 2.5. I think he's probably just checking the contents of his trousers after that moment at the final corner. Junkie Sport holding on to 4th, but that left rear tyre looks awful now. That is a lot of red.
Come back into the pits and try and change tyres again, or stick out there.
We've got just over 2 minutes to go. He's got 6 seconds back to SBY. If he can nurse it, then we shall see. SBY's tyres are okay, but I think he's out of his rhythm as well after he'll probably be cursing. Oh, he's hit the chicane as well. Yeah, the rhythm's gone a little bit.
People's come in and says SBY will be pissed. I can imagine so. He's done so well to get to the lead and then only a few minutes to go. But like I said earlier, Goodwood is a very easy track to make a mistake. It's not for the faint-hearted.
So we're on with the penultimate lap of the race. Donzo is your leader, but he's on the fuel limit. Ready? Flashing red. Does he have enough fuel?
Oh, Michael clipped the grass again. He's still trying, but yeah.
So the gap's actually opened up a little bit now, 3.5 seconds, so a little bit of time. I think he's settled. He's got no pressure from behind. Junkie Sport's 5 seconds back.
If anything, Unsafe has less fuel than Donzo.
It's very tight, isn't it? It's really remember to.
I mean, it is quite a short lap.
It's still running fairly competitive lap times. So the final lap then. Just to bring it round. SBY's not really taking much time out of Junkie Sport despite that awful looking tyre wear on his left rear. Switchback not really close enough. Fever and Zom are closing up.
I think the question is now, can Junkie Sport last this lap without spinning? Peugeot was a very solid car, so...
Dino Donzo is extending his lead. I think Gonzo Felice is in very heavy fuel save mode. Donzo seems confident he can get there.
It's going to be tight for both of them.
I think he's coasting now as well. That gap's coming down.
Is a lot better than it's releases.
Still just cruising around to the line here. Through the penultimate corner. You can get through the chicane.
See on my screen, Donzo's out.
They can't be far off. And he's still under power.
He's out of fuel.
Oh, he has, but he just gets home. Just gets home. Oh dear me, Michael comes home P3, Junkie Sports on that awful looking left rear tyre. Brings home P4, SBY will be cursing what might have been, what should have been. He's also just on the limit of fuel. He comes home P5, switchback again, another one of what might have been. P6, Fever, I think I'll be happy with P7. It's a solid run from him. Oh, Zom's run out of fuel on the line, through comes Katz to steal P8. So another one who's cut it just too fine. Steph had an up and down race. Drifts around the penultimate corner. He's been taking lessons. Oh, he just hit the chicane in the last corner. And get away with it though, as Iceman is a little bit further back. Comes home for a top 10 finish. And next is Iceman will take 11 with Goykarp having already finished P12. And there we have it then. So Donzo wins his first race of the season. Just on fumes.
And it was won with that fantastic maneuver, wasn't it?
Indeed, so that maneuver the one that done. So now we head on to Monza. See the replay.
Yeah, Zom is so unfortunate for his wheel stand when he's withholded a brake 1 minute before qualifying. In the case of what it might have been. Don't envisage Junkie Sport being particularly pleased by the end of that race, but managed to hold on pretty foot, which at this time of the season, points are points. It's always nice to wrap them up when you can.
To transfer over to Monza for the feature race. Of course, now this is a 50-minute race, up from 40 minutes last season. There's a little bit more of a dimension into it then. Of course, I think everybody who knows anything about motorsport knows Monza, don't they?
I mean, you would hope so. Otherwise, they're not very good at motorsport, but
True.
One very well-known track. No Ferraris on the grid, so the Forcey won't be happy.
No Italians either. Going with a quick reminder there. Just to watch out for floundering like a fish on land at the start there.
Well, I mean, you were the last person to drive an Italian car last season.
Don't remind me. Look.
Yeah. Not happy putting him back in your Nissan.
I was not happy with anything that was front engined, to be honest. I think just that Lamborghini was just not the car for me. I think I can clearly there were times where you could feel that it was very good through fast flowing corners. it's quite stable on the brakes. It gets very good traction out of corners, but because it's rear-wheel drive, obviously it eats its rear tyres, so you have to have the brake bias quite far forward, which kind of affects your turn-in a little bit, which made cornering quite difficult. It's also quite unsteady on the heavy braking sometimes, so the back would kind of dance around a little bit, so I didn't have a lot of confidence on the brakes, which means you were hemorrhaging time, and it would also just try and kill me at any opportunity.
Yeah, it's not what you want in a race car, is it? The car
really.
trying to kill you at every opportunity.
It doesn't really breed confidence, so it was a challenging season last season in that Group 3 Lamborghini. The Group 4 one was a completely different beast. It was planted as anything. It was just, because it was a four-wheel drive car, it was just quite heavy and quite slow, so it really just had the worst of both worlds with that one last season. So back in something a little bit more familiar with this season, so
yeah. I may have picked my car with my heart rather than my head. Yeah,
I think I have as well. Although it's a solid car, but yeah, my love for the GTR is well known. So.
Yeah, I found out last week it helps if you put fuel in the Corvette. So
I think you could do with that extra fuel tank that BAR ran. Was it 2006? Just a bit of extra fuel in there just to keep it topped up.
Yeah, I unfortunately clicked did not refuel. So yeah, I think it's the first time I've done it in 8 seasons of racing. 9 seasons of racing. So yeah, a bit of a rookie move, but we'll make up for it down the line at some point.
David, a bit of a wobble back coming out of the rate of field here.
Please, you know corner names.
I saw it off. I was watching. What was it? I was watching the closest ever Superbike finishes, and most of them are around Monza, if I'm honest. And I'm sure he said the rest of it, but don't hold me to that. I'm sure Blue Flag will tell me if I'm wrong.
We will indeed. If anybody knows corner names, it's Sai.
Nope. Got Carp making out with the wall. So who do we fancy then from Monza? So it's obviously a power track. I know the Beetles weren't fancying themselves here, partly on fuel more than anything.
I was going to say, I would anticipate seeing Ford GT of SPY go fairly well. It does have a very good top end. However, yeah. I mean, Team E, you've got 2 Mercedes and Corvette. 3 very good cars around Monza.
Indeed, so City Boss wants to know if they've changed that curve that's essentially flying at the second chicane. Of course, that was 2 seasons ago, wasn't it? When he was in the GTR in his first season, he clipped the sausage curve coming out of that second chicane and absolutely launched himself.
Yeah, it is a bit of a big of a curve, but to be fair, if you've got a decent car, it does tend to ride that curve quite nicely.
I thought the GTR is actually quite nice on the curves, to be honest, but City Bosch found a bit of a weird angle to attack it from, and got a lot of air. So
I'm not sure it was City Bosch's fault. Usually it is. Usually backwards as well. So
he found his form after a very backwards week 1 last season, so hopefully this season he'll kick on like he did last season and join in the battles. We had a bit of a challenging first week. The Brands Hatch is quite an unforgiving circuit, a bit like Goodwood, and it's very narrow, old school circuits.
To be fair, I'm not looking forward to racing tomorrow because we have Interlap.
It's not a particularly favoured circuit among many people. Again. How do you feel about Fuji?
It's going to be difficult, I believe, for me personally. It does tend to drink a bit of fuel. Yeah, Fuji has a really long straight, so that doesn't help.
Size has come in there. Sorry, Carl, the white team are on a tight budget. That's why they couldn't afford to give him some extra tyres. Carl says he doesn't mind putting his hand in his pocket. That's probably because he's got a hole in his pocket and he's touching himself. Carl, stop touching yourself. You'll go blind.
I was going to say, I mean, the white team are pretty tight on funds, probably because they've got Tom in it. and he got a paid to make his car quicker because like no one can keep up with it. Hence, he was both racing last week.
So let's come back with you might need to, if response to Carl putting his hand in his pocket, you might need to be being run by a Brummy. It's very true, but then you look at our team, which is being run by a bloody friend from Yorkshire. I know he supports Leeds.
I mean, I'm going to say yes, but
We'll go with that because, frankly, why would anybody outside Leeds support Leeds? Dirty Leeds. Yeah, so, and you want to talk about tight? Yorkshire's pockets are deeper than, almost as deep as a Scotsman's.
I was going to say I might be a Geordie, but I don't run Team Pagani as Mike Ashley would run Newcastle United, so it's not too bad.
You've had a shot fired at you in the chat again, by the way.
I'm used to it. Yeah, City Push coming back at me about F1, something again, which he'd never beat me at, so yeah. Get good, City Push. Yeah. I seem to remember spinning City Push off at Spa and then winning the race. Sorry about that, City Push.
Spa's on our calendar. Spa is on our calendar this season.
Yeah. I expect to see the LSX backwards, and I don't think it'll be Iggy. So, but yeah, I mean, City Push got this running thing going on. Well, at the moment, Goy is second. He was till Mecca came across the line, but Goy is third. He's also in a wall. But
can't even see him. I've just got a nice shot of the first chicane, so I don't know where he is. Should be in there somewhere.
Almost right in the Grand Track. So.
Yeah. Building sandcastles.
Maybe in the cup of tea.
The Nexus boys do battle in the turbo. Cats with the squeeze. Oh yeah, there he is, just reversing now. I see you going. I see you. So at the moment, it's looking a bit like American Muscle is the way to go. Michael and SPY are the fastest two in practice.
Oh, SPY hasn't stopped for turn one though.
Oh, those barriers, those bollards are very dangerous if you hit them. Especially if they're on the track, so hopefully they won't be strewn across in the race because you know about it if you hit one of them.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily correlate on each person's screen. They can be in different positions for everyone. Which, yeah, you can hit something that isn't technically there, which, yeah, it's not the best thing for Gran Turismo to give us, but the hard to give, so we work with it.
Well, hopefully they got sorted out by the update today, so fingers crossed. So we should be going in about a minute or so's time. 5-2.
I don't only win by cheating. At least I win, but Iggy's come straight in with a Team Iggy 1-2-3. I mean, I'm going to say one thing, Iggy. You had a Team 1-2 last week and nearly had a heart attack. So do you want a Team 1-2-3?
Donzo's popped himself up for second. So probably can't count Donzo out for this one. I mean, I'm expecting this to be a fight between probably the four that we saw contending at the early part of Goodwood, so I expect it's going to be Michael, Donzo, Unsafe and SPY. So it might come back to fuel. Now I know SPY in that Ford has got a bigger fuel tank than the Corvette, than the Toyotas, and probably slightly the Mercedes as well, so that could be key in this race in terms of how much time he spends in the pits.
Corvette has a micro tank. Like, you basically have to short shift every single shift that was in to try and make it the same distance as everyone else, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, here we go then. Round 4. 9 GT2, and then Mikey and Goy. Two rookies on the front row. Iceman and Steph behind them. Zom and Kat on row 3. Fever and Switchback. SPY Junkie Sport. Michael and Safe. And Donzo on row 7 on his own. So
no evil intentions, but the last time Goy was on the front row at Monza, he got twatted by Sai, who I pushed into him. So yeah, fingers crossed for Goy.
Green, away we go. Goy got a lot of wheel spin. Mikey's had a good launch. Got Cats coming through. So there's a Mercedes 1-2. Steph's had a good start as well. He's down the inside. Monza's just hanging off the back there. I think he's waiting for everything to sort them out. SBY's had a good start. He's up to 4th already.
Oh, contact
No.
between Steph and Nicholas Cats, I believe. Steph's been reset.
Oh, and the gravel on the outside there. One of the green cars. It's Feber. He's been smushed up in a sandwich. I think his teammate, I think, was on the inside there. Squeezed out. So now as everything's sorted out, as SBY goes around the outside of Cats into the second chicane. Going to work through there, boys. Oh, SBY's clipped the curb. Gets away with it, but Mikey has shot off and he's in the lead. Go on, Mikey.
He's on the medium tyre as well, so fantastic start from Mikey. As Nexus Cats is on the soft, as is SBY, as is Nexus SBY.
Strategies Michael's had a good start as well. He's up to 5th. Unsafe up to 7th as well. So the top guys from the last race making the moves too early on. SBY down the inside of Cats into the Ascari chicane. Gets it done this time. Theismann's now got Michael behind him. And Bullock's got unsafe, so the drivers making their way through. Cats coming back at SBY.
So that Mercedes is going slow on that.
A little punch off the corners. I know the Ford's probably got the better top ends, but the Mercedes gets off the corners.
Switch back.
Cats tries to shut the door on him. He's there though. Here we go again. The drag race. Oh!
Contact.
Drag race now. Michael got past Iceman into Parabolica. He's got the inside line for the first chicane. Hit the brakes.
Having a go at Michael. Subaru versus Corvette in a straight line.
Oh. Cats tries to turn in, but SPY is there, and through he goes again. Safe has deposited Goy, and he's up to P6. Bonzo up to P8, ahead of switchback. Sport Fever back up to 11th. Steph is 12th, and Zom, I think, has had an off. I know he doesn't like Monza. He's run on at the first chicane. But Mikey continues to lead, although he's very hot into the second chicane. He had a big slide and lost about half his lead.
You won 6 races last season, I won 6 races in a Mustang, so yeah. I did it first.
SB1 now onto the rear wing of Mikey. Picks up a penalty. Got Michael on the tail of Nexus Cats, side by side. Up to Ascari, Mikey on the inside. SB1 trying to go around the long way. No way through. And Mikey's going a lot of speed. Too much speed, in fact. He's gone off. Oh, we're having a big slide. Yellow flag in the background. Have we lost Nexus Cats? We have. He's in this. Oh, who was that going through the chicane as well? Goy Carp as well, spinning at Ascari. So a little bit too much speed there being carried in. Michael making a move for P2 on Mikey. Here he goes.
All I can say is fair play to Mikey. Like, he could have just let SBY have it, but no, he fought. Like, always nice to say.
Back at Michael. Slipstream.
Release on Iceman behind.
Gets the inside. Sadie straight line speed. Gets them through. It's a P4. Donzo now P6 in closing. Switch back in Junkie Sport. 7th and 8th. And then Fever recovering. He's up to P9. There's Steph. We've got Cats recovering after his spins on, and Goy also having misdemeanours on lap 2.
So it will be interesting to see what people do with tyres. We're doing very little tyre wear on them.
Indeed, so SPY leads. He's on the soft tyre. Michael is giving chase. He's on the mediums. Mikey's still in P3, but he's got unsafe release all over the back of him now through the first of the Lesmos. He's got Iceman tucked under as well. So Mikey's
back to see the second there as well, but run to the sky. On the sky,
outside. So he's got it done, I think, before the braking zones. Mikey can back at him. No, he drops in this time. There we go, it's a bit better, Mikey, well done. And there's his Iceman onto the back of him. He's had a good run through with Scary. He's going to use the slipstream up unsafe release down the straight. There he goes. Good move there from Iceman. Mikey holding his own. That's what we want to see. A bit of progress. Circuit he'll know. And we're going to lower deep into Parabolica. Marbles.
Get on that Astro, it never wants to turn in from there. So let's Donzo through and switch back to coming.
There with that Mercedes grunt, he should be able to hold off the Beetle. He's took the right for a slip into the rear wing of Donzo though. He's going to come back at him. And find his teammates, who know he'll probably let him go. And switch back. Trying to go around the outside. Good move there from the switchback. Monkey not fighting it too hard. SB1 continues to lead, but Michael keeping him honest. And on the medium compounder tyre as well, so this is good pressure from Michael.
He is, however, Michael is veering to like a corner for the moment. 1 second to penalty, 1.5, so. What I will say is that Ford right curves immaculately, so we'll take a little bit more curve here and there.
Donzo thought about moving to the first Lesmo and Iceman. Iceman slamming the door on him. Really an opportunity. Donzo was trying to make something. The door was firmly shut in his face. And now he's got switched back. Not that a very poor run out of the chicane anyway.
I'm not sure what's happened to Mikey.
He's had a moment somewhere, but you can say that he led a race.
Indeed, it was competitive.
It was indeed. Switch back on Donzo, battling behind Iceman.
I think we had the three slowest cars in the line.
Donzo
Down
the inside into Parabolica. Switchback trying to follow him through. Iceman's out on the AstroTurf now as well. So back on the black stuff.
He's in a black car, so.
Back out the slipstream, but I don't think he's got enough.
Oh, through wide into turn 1.
An Iceman with a double overtake. Brilliant move.
He got it stopped. It looked like he went more straight on turn 1, but he got the car stopped.
Great move there from Iceman, so fighting back. Of course, the interesting story as to why he picked the Super Impreza of the season. He was always born in one.
Right.
Honestly, that's the usual bit of knowledge as to his car selection this season.
Not entirely sure how to respond to that. However, is Michael getting close to SPY? I believe he is.
Indeed. He's always had a poor couple of corners, although Michael's had a poor exit out of the second Lesmo, and it's about a 10th or 2 back.
No! Switch back on the outside, Donzo through the Lesmos. Gets it done, but quite a lot of help from Donzo.
Jockey Sport now onto this battle as well, and Fever is closing up after his first lap gravel trap excursion. Iceman having to go defensive into Ascari. An FTRL train building up here. Iceman continues at the head of it. Switch back. Wobble through Ascari, and now Donzo's back on his case. Fever is coming, and there's Steph as well in the background there. Oh,
1.3 seconds.
SBY, is that an off somewhere?
Can you imagine that's going to be through Ascari?
Well, missed that one.
Why his lap time was 4 seconds off pace that lap.
He's off somewhere. Switch back in. I know he's unlikely to have to do an extra stop or an earlier stop just to his get through on the fuel.
The Zombie's also coming in to do the Beetle, so it looks regimented.
Indeed, so battle for 4th now headed by Donzo, who has jumped Iceman. Sport 6th, Fever closing. Steph on too far behind. Cat's still on his recovery drive. Switch back out in P10. Mikey 11 is on his way in P12. Goy's in as well.
Well, the fact that the switchback has not filled up the tank, he's either working to a strategy, which I would guess would be 10 minutes. However, he has made his own line through the second chicane. Surprised he only got a half-second penalty. Sport has the most of the guys that hasn't failed.
So Thomas commented that he's saving fuel on that Peugeot is quite easy to do, and he's in that train, so he doesn't need to be pushing too hard.
Keep the gravel and the exit of Ascari, though, it's not what you want to do.
SBY starting to close back in on Michael. He has picked up a penalty now for half a second, for both of them do. Safe sitting a bit of a lonely third. For fourth, spread out a little bit now. Tonzo just inching away from Iceman.
He was definitely involved now. After putting the gravel early on.
Yeah, he's in slipstream range.
Steph is trying to get on the back of this pack. He is doing his own fastest laps of the race.
Mikey pits from P11. Don't we just go through the motions a little bit? Westby a bit sideways out of the second chicane.
He's starting to show some effective tyre wear, so yeah, when you go on the super soft, it's pretty interesting.
Apparently he started on a full tank of fuel, so obviously a little bit more weight to carry around. So hopefully, although around here, I suppose the easiest way to do it is just to fill the tank up. But he'll know his strategy, so.
Very close to clipping the grass in the middle of the Lesbos, but kept it clean. What speed did Bonzo have at his car on the line, but through the chicane, they imagine it through it should be quite quick.
Yeah, he's starting to drop Iceman now, so getting clear in this battle for fourth. A little bit wide out with Scary, although Iceman follows him out. Junkie Sport looking a little bit more tidy. Bonzo and Iceman 1.3, Iceman 8 tenths up on Junkie Sport, who is 9 tenths up on Fever. Steph 2.3 behind, trying to bridge that gap. Iceman's had a poor run through the Parabolica, and Junkie Sport's now in slipstream range, so could see a move into turn 1.
Again with 2 more of the slowest cars in straight lines. However,
he's going to go for the move. He's got the overspeed.
He's going to stop. That's not stopping.
Oh, he's been reset. Oh, right into Fever's path. Fever again, not catching a break.
I would say for how resets normally go, that was quite kind of Junkie's.
Yeah. That's a bit weird.
It was very quick and put it back in the middle of the corner, when normally it's all the way back and start. Dash again.
He's got a new message under his rear wing. It's no longer you can be passed by an old man. It looks like multi 2-1. I believe. I'm trying to get another view of that at some point. But very nice. Battle developing. Bonzo now pulling away. But Iceman, Fever, Junkie Sport and Steph is now there as well. Your leaders, 2 seconds to the good.
I'd expect Michael in maybe to this lap.
Might do one more. I've got enough fuel to do a overlap. Not the red line yet. Although I suppose the sooner you can get off the mediums the better. Following round. There's the peel off.
15 minutes.
Let's carry on again, so doing another lap.
I did do a few laps better on Monza because I was bored, and I do know that I couldn't just make 9 laps. It means he has been fuel saving this stint, so he's got a good pace.
Donzo is pit, as is the Iceman, so peel off about for 4th and 5th. Also coming in, this is Cats. Junkie Sport has just been passed by Steph. Trying to make a move into the first chicane to get it back, but Steph takes the position, and it's P5. P Smith in the chat there reckons it'd be 27 laps, so really trying to do two-stopper.
Unsafe in the second chicane, completely sideways.
That's just unsafe driving style though, isn't it?
It is, but he definitely lost time on that slide. Mercedes doesn't appreciate being slid.
True.
Like, drew it nice and straight. However, with nearly 4,500 miles under his belt in that car, he's done more than me, so I'm not going to question it.
So we've got out of Ascari, we're now to 2.7 seconds, so SPY's had a scruffy lap. For some reason it says P against his name on lap 7, like it's pitted, but they haven't.
Yeah, I've got P on 3 separate laps for most cars, so...
Oh, Michael, a little bit deep there into Parabolica. Holding a tight line, he's in this time. Race leader pits, SPY is carrying on. So that Ford has a big fuel tank, unsafe as well, going around again. Now, the SPY is on the soft tyre, so he probably want to carry on the quicker compound for as long as he can do. Michael, what tyre is he going to go on to? Proto Steph in as well. Michael literally had no fuel at the end of the pits. It was soft, so he's doing the standard medium soft, super soft. He's coming out, switchback comes down the straight.
So that's one car who does not want to get stuck behind.
Switchback is through.
Ziggy says Fever after those pit stops is currently P3, hasn't stopped yet, but
Look how much fuel he's got left as well. With unsafe release, who's now on the red line. Fever's still on the white, so he's probably got another lap in there as well. Some excellent fuel saving there from Fever. Sometimes a little bit slower than his teammate, about half a second or so slower than unsafe a lap, but it's a very good recovery so far. Sport, switchback, and Michael in a line. Rookie Sport still in a quarter of a tank.
so he is, but
That's a 54 and a 51 in it, so he's had an off somewhere.
setting the world alight, but he will be there at the end of the race just through fuel saving. So.
Switchback comes out of Scar and sweeps by. As race leader pits. That's does unsafe release.
Follow his teammate in.
He's now on the red line. Here he comes, yeah, Safiba in as well.
Junkie Sport from wide at Parabolica. He's in the pits.
Switchback will take over the lead. Where does Michael come out relative to SPY? SPY's on his way.
Michael's through.
Indeed, there's Donzo in the background. So Safe is out ahead of him. Zebra on his way.
So now is the time that Michael needs to push. He needs to make a gap because he will have less room on SPY the next time the stops.
Steph side by side on the run onto the first chicane. Steph gets the overtake done.
Junkie Sport hasn't filled the tank, so he's obviously running to a number, so...
Switchback currently leads. He's on a slightly different strategy though. Michael tucked in behind him. He's now 4.8 seconds ahead of SPY, so he's opened that extra lap that SPY has done. It's cost him.
Super soft tyre, however, Michael gained 3 points in the opening sectors.
Unsafe release is closing on SBY as well. I'm just a second behind him now.
I mean, if unsafe can start battling SBY, it will help Michael.
Indeed. So SBY now on the medium tyre. So I wonder perhaps if he's trying to run extra stints on the soft and the medium so he doesn't have so long on the super soft just because of that tyre wear he picked up on. Don's in a bit of no man's land in P5. He's 2.8 off the back of unsafe. 8 seconds ahead of his teammate Steph, who's got Fever closing in.
That's good. I just said that's pretty right. Completely crossed up into turn 1. I don't think he clipped the grass under the brakes, but safety even closer now. Michael is closing on that beetle up front.
Second chicane right behind him now. Always get that curve though, that's a bit of a wobble. It's on the acceleration. Switchback just ekes out a couple of tenths. Michael lets him back in through Lesmo 1. Lesmo 2. Down. There we go. Up under the old banking. To Ascari. Indeed, run down to Ascari. He's in the slipstream as we were going a little bit defensive in the middle of the road. Compromises run to Ascari.
Wait, that'll do it even more when you're going to slide through the first part.
He's gone away with it, but unsafe release. Put it right back under the wing again. Again goes defensive. Send him around the long way. While he's battling, he's letting Donzo just inch up a little bit and round the outside of the parabolic. A great move from unsafe.
Switchback is in.
That releases Michael. Gap is now at 6.9 seconds, so Michael eked out a couple of seconds while these two started battling. SPY into the slipstream, or get the move done, or no? Unsafe is going to fight him on the brakes. SPY gives him the room.
So they left each other the room. That's respectful racing.
They've lost half a second to Donzo behind them, so he's closing.
Inside a Steph at the turn 1.
P5, so all of Iggy's drivers now in the top 5, first, second and fifth.
Fever setting his personal best lap last time round.
He's essentially switchback as the fastest lap at the moment. Although nobody else has had the super soft tyres yet, though, to be fair.
Low fuel.
Attacking the curves with the second chicane. Sport just closing in a little bit behind them. Back into P8 after his pit stop. His 9th. Cat's in a little bit of a lonely 10th, although Zom's not too far behind. Good cop. Oops.
Struggling to hold on the back of unsafe. That gap is second already.
Medium tyres. Not really working on that Ford. And Donzo is now within a second as well behind him, so...
Indeed, however, differing strategies for everyone.
Michael on about just over half a tank. You've got Unsafe who's on 3/4, SBY who's on 3/4, and then Donzo on a quarter at the moment, so yeah, some very different strategies playing out at the minute.
Unsafe and Michael are the exact same lap time. He'll be bringing this home with glee at the moment, I believe.
Donzo makes the move for P3 into the first chicane. SBY is struggling on those mediums.
Fever and Steph are still fighting to allow Junkie Sport to close up.
Oh, indeed. Curva Grande. Step into the slipstream of the Mercedes. Can he look to make a move?
Yeah, 25
Yes.
is half. It's been a long day. Zom has made the way to the pit lane.
Oh, switchback having a big moment off the curbs. Coming out the second chicane.
Three-way battle for fifth.
Fever at the head of it, Steph. Just drifting around the first Lesmo. Sport keeping watching brief at the moment, please. Put the hammer down a little bit now. He's setting faster lap times in this stint. So. As Prototype Steph goes to the outside of Fever on the run up to Ascari. Can he get it done? Oh, it can. Oh, what a move from Steph.
Outside manoeuvres we've seen tonight. Are we about to see three wide? Please don't.
Junkie Sport's got nowhere to go. Tucked in behind Steph. Fever on the inside.
Junkie Sport trying to go to the parabolic again.
He's got it done as well. He's got the slipstream off the McLaren. You're going to see a move into the first chicane, although Fever's got under his rear wing, so all the squabbling, let's switch back right onto the tail as well. Sport down inside of Steph. He was late on the brakes and keeps the place. Good defence there from Steph. This is now a four-way battle.
It is indeed.
Race lead 6.7 seconds for Michael. For his teammates, who's battled hard for the win last week. This time Michael, very comfortable gap. Donzo 1.8 behind Unsafe and SBY 1.5 behind him. He seems to have settled down a bit now.
And then this time it's going to be interesting to see what Michael comes out this next pit stop with fuel. Obviously Unsafe has nearly a quarter tank on.
Do some fuel saving at some point, but the gap's chipped away a little bit, but his personal best took about 3/10 out of Michael last time around, so he's not clawing time out of his teammate. He'll be sick of finishing in P2, so if he can get on the team.
Going to have the line at parabolic as Steph's on the inside. Sport's already got one move on the outside.
And he does it again. That's from Junkie Sport. The switchback also got Fever in the background. Drops down the order. Steph comes back at Junkie Sport.
McLaren is quite quick on the line. That Mercedes behind the Beetle in the background is very quick on the line.
So the back one's just behind them. Steph doesn't send it into one. Fever also just stays behind switchback for now. Different strategies. Michael managing this pace well. He took 3/10 back out of Unsafe on that lap, so trading lap times. Speedway are 10 seconds off the lead. So the question is, how long can he make his super soft tyres last? You know he's better on fuel, especially than the race leader.
The question for Michael is he needs to get to lap 18 at a minimum in this thing. And that's hoping that it is 27 laps. If it's 28 laps, he could be in trouble.
Lap 16 coming to the end now. He's got a quarter of a tank left, so that should be enough to get him around 2 laps.
Switchbacks to inside Steph into Ascari.
There he goes. Switchback doing well. Up to P5. Oh, Steph! Sideways and Fever there's got to run. Pops to the inside. She got that done fairly easily. Steph gets the style points. Fever gets the position. Steph slingshot off the parabolic. Cuts back up the inside. go to pit lane, so step in.
Well, that McLaren does have quite a large tank. It's going to be 20 minutes to run in the one tank.
Frankie Harvey on to a point. He's just 4.5 seconds behind Zom.
I'm feeling for Zom at the moment.
Not to say he should have been definitely there or thereabouts at Goodwood. His wheel braking before the race is not the kind of preparation you need. Must be wise off it between the Lesmos. He's taking out one of the marker boards.
Well, he's lucky because on Gran Turismo 6 those polystyrene bollards were concrete, so...
Look at them.
Monza is now involved in this train. He's on the back of Fever.
Back out Junkie Sport swapping places.
Michael's going to stay out, so he's got to make it to lap 18. And he's going to be praying that his 10 laps at least.
A lot of guys have been practicing, so very confident. Turning the gap a little. He's going to slip through off his teammate. Can start for the straight. He's now 12 seconds off the lead, so he's going to have to take up a lot of time in the pits. He's back in contention for the win.
Don's on Fever in turn 1.
Down the inside. Good move. We're giving him room. Nice and respectful overtake. Junkie Sport and Switchback just ahead of him as well, so if he's not losing too much time here, he can really drag himself back into contention for this battle for P2. So the question is though, he's going to have to stop again, isn't he? It'll be a short stop.
I think he's doing 10-minute stints. Steph behind, he did come at the pits and he only half filled the tank, so he's also doing another short run and another splash and dash to the end. Michael is critical on fuel. So last time he came off and left.
Rolling, so it's fuel saving. Not losing a lot of time to unsafe. Still got a quarter of a tank. The question is then, when it does unsafe, pull the trigger and try and match his teammate's strategy. Claw back the time in the pits, or some time in the pits, with the less fuel he needs to put in. So Michael Pitts on 0. Unsafe is carrying on. It's been away as well. I thought we were going to get off those mediums. Just was a little wildly parabolica, and Donzo on fresher tyres, cuts underneath. So just spotted out. He's in.
Pit entry. Michael's held his gap over Donzo.
We've gone deep into the first chicane though.
However, Michael has not filled the tank. Michael is also coming in for a splash at the end, so unsafe. He's now looking in a very savoury position to win this race.
Does that bring SP well back into it, then he's lost a bit of time. Very squirrely. Oh. Interesting strategies playing out.
I would question Michael's strategy. You've got to make sure you've got to make it to the end. It's not worse than running out of fuel.
The flashback to season 2. It's Monza, where I think about 3 cars ran out of fuel on the final lap.
Yeah.
Including my illustrious team leader. I think I overtook 3 or 4 people on the final lap.
The very first season we did a manufacturer's cup, which I was in the BMW for some reason before we did mandated tyre stops, and he did a one stop for some reason. It was two stop road. Yeah, that didn't go well. Looks like I had Tom T. Smith in front of me, and he pulled me around for the entirety of my second stint.
And not so much as winning that one. Unfortunately, the man leading, or who was leading the race, now P3, decided to shovel me off into Parabolica.
Yeah, he has that about him sometimes.
Not content with just jinxing me in the commentary. Did the old Punterino as well.
To be fair to Mike, he does run in cockpit, which is very difficult, especially on hard. So he's doing a mighty job to keep it going. He is closing on the front curb, but yeah, all three of them will also stop.
They're on the red line now, so Unsafe and SPY will be in this lap. Question is, can SPY make super soft tyres last 14 laps on that Ford GT?
In the background, I think Fee was at a bad lap, he did 156 last time. Off the back of Donzo.
Did 56.2, so that's about 6 seconds lower than the lap before. Excursion somewhere. This tyre's looking a little bit second hand. Jockey Sport is out and back in a back with a Steph. Jockey Sport has filled the tank. Steph a quarter or just over a quarter, so he'll be in again.
I said Jockey Sport will be trying to go at the end. I mean, there is not a lot more. When it starts to load up, it does not quickly run in.
Safe will be in this time. There's the final corner. A very late pit exit entrance, which just threw me for a second. Here he comes, as does SBY, and Michael will take back over.
2 seconds on the front to that lap. Second fastest lap in the process. He's doing everything he can.
Though, pick up that strategy.
Well, if this race is 28 laps, then he's picked the right strategy because he wouldn't have got to the end. As is SBY.
Donzo's cleared them, but of course he's due a pit stop shortly in the next lap or two.
SBY's got a little bit less fuel than I said.
Pits and is on his way.
Yeah, Michael's got that gap to 11 seconds to those.
To stop again.
As I say, if he times his pit stop right to go back on another set of supers, he'll be very quick at the end of this race.
Indeed. So safe onto the super soft. So we've got to go about 12.5 minutes with SBY. So he's got quite a lot more fuel than SBY has. Unsafe put too much in. SBY put enough in. All will be revealed in the next 11 minutes and 24 seconds.
Donzo will be in this lap.
On the red line, so Toyota prepares to bail out.
Switch back after all of everything that's happened to him. He's currently P5 in his last stop. He's 3/4 full of fuel. Run for supers.
Pulls off. This is unsafe. He's been through as well. He's losing time. He was 4.2. Okay, yeah, so it's about the same gap to unsafe. The question is now, what can he do about the Mercedes and the Corvette up the road? 17 seconds behind Michael. That's a big gap.
Everything he can. He's done a 47.3, then a 47.5. Like, he's gone purple in sector 1. There's not much left he can give. Again, he's probably best like short shifting in his vet. I know he wants to redline it, get the max out of it, but the less he's got to put in, the better. Just have a little bit of traffic in the zone for him, but I can't imagine that being a problem.
Bit of slipstream should help him out, both on fuel and top speed. To the inside, leave him with a racing line, still purple, so he wants to do a Scari. He's pushing hard.
I'd love to know what the Corvette could do if you could redline it every year shift rather than short shift it every year, but yeah. Oh,
yep. Sideways as ever.
Picked up a 1.6 second penalty in the back.
Yeah, he's also started just closing in a little bit on safe. The gap is down under 4 seconds, so he's going to have to get rid of that penalty somewhere. He's now just starting to inch up on the Mercedes ahead of him. Zoe is out in P5, he's 3.5 seconds behind Switchback.
Well, Unsafe has done a 40-year on. Michael's in the 47s, so...
So you need to pull away.
I mean, you would think he's going to come up behind SPY when he stops, but it's going to be tight.
14 seconds is a big gap, so we shall see. If he's behind him, he won't be far away.
Because he's going to need, what, less than half a tank, he would presume, so...
Yeah, if it's, what, 5 seconds for tyres.
Yeah, it's going to be tight.
Close indeed, Good evening, Mr. Deluc. Thank you for joining us.
In a little by little on the Switchback.
Just cleared Mikey. Did I just come to the unsafe to change his PSN name to P2 Forever? Probably fair.
Right in the back of Junkie spot.
Ooh, just got the wall on the inside of the first Lesmo there though, so aggressive turning. So right on the back of Junkie Sport.
I expect Michael in, he's in the red line. He is indeed.
Michael Pitts now. Unsafe coming around the Parabolica. Where does he come out with his teammate?
Michael, don't balls us up putting the fuel in the car. That's all you got to do.
Still waiting, still waiting. Safe going through, Michael's on his way.
Down.
Michael going through. And Safe takes the lead. SPY is going to be behind him. But he's going to be right on Michael's team.
Plenty of fuel. Can Michael catch Unsafe? That is the question. I mean, Unsafe is on his tail, but he's going to have to make the move very soon. Michael's going to pull away, I believe.
Alright, so we're on just under 7 minutes. We're at 1 minute 47, 48. I'd say Unsafe did a 47.9 on that lap, so that was his personal fastest lap.
Although, you said SPY was gaining, SPY is doing 247.4s on the bounce.
Right, is now flying. So the top three.
They're going to come together by the looks of it, unless Michael and SPY battle.
SPY's tyres are going to be the concern for the Ford. They're looking after them okay at the moment. We've got... I think we've probably got 4 laps left. Maybe. It's going to be close. 3 or 4. We're looking at just under 2 minutes. So the slipstream, he's probably not going to go for it here. Gets a bit of his penalty down. That's a bit of a slide. Bit of Scari though. So 3.6 seconds covering the top 3. And that's likely to be 3 laps to go. Yeah, it's going to be 27 laps this, I think. It is 3 seconds between Unsafe and Michael. He's been right hot on his tail.
Unsafe has picked up a penalty now.
Nexus boys are coming together, bounce for P9 and P10. Cat's just trying to close in on his team and his teammates. Stable buddy. So I'm having a lonely run. P11. This is Mikey in P12. And Goy in P13. Still going, plugging away. Goy just did his personal best lap, so...
Michael's gone purple in sector 1 by 2.5 tenths.
Yeah, he's taken almost a second out of that lead.
Michael's sideways. Oh, yeah. His flashback intensifies.
Of course, just remind you, of course, 2 seasons ago. Unsafe, of course, won it, didn't he, in the Master?
Did indeed. He does tend to play a different strategy to everybody else does Unsafe, and does tend to work out, especially in the longer races.
Indeed. Below fastest again in the middle sector, 2 tenths up on his current fastest lap. This could, or possibly, into the 46s if he has a very good final sector. He's starting to just pull away from SBY.
Gap's coming down the straight, that vet is charging.
0.6 now.
Oh, Unsafe's wide, coming up Parabolica. He's very wide, he's lost 6 tenths. Michael from 46.9, the gap down to 1 second.
46s, Michael having a storming lap. 48.5 from the race leader, 47.5 from SBY. It's a little bit ragged at the minute. It's closing. SBY's still in touch. I think it's going to be between the green machines.
Could that penalty come back to that reserve? But it's quite easy to lose a penalty around Monza. Oh, Michael's gone purple, a little deep, clips the curb, keeps it under control. Half a second now, the gap.
It is on. It is on. Saw this last week. They were a bit further up the road from the rest of the field last week. SBY are very much in touch, so you've got to do it cleanly. Go round Zom.
SBY is driven flawlessly. He's lasted every lap in a 47. He's doing everything he can in this forward.
Mitch, you just say you need to put the emergency service on standby for Iggy. Down to the Parabolica. He's got a very good run. He's going to go to the inside. This could be 28 laps, you know.
It's going to be 28
laps. It's going to be 28 laps, yes. He did need to do that stop, yeah.
Michael's bet this very well because he wouldn't have made it to the line.
Here we go again. He's pushing him down the straight. Look at this. Nose to tail. Does he have anything in the braking zone? Michael's in the middle of the road to the inside. Oh, there's contact!
Oh, keep it
Michael's up on the
boys.
curb. The kick of oversteer as he gets on the power, and Unsafe is back through.
Well, I mean, City Porsche should put him waiting for it. He's waiting to hear me say, ooh, there's contact, but I just said it, so, yeah. Oops.
Back in the lead, Michael's got the inside for the second chicane, but thinks better of it. Let's his teammate have it. They've
out of that one.
dropped SBY.
Oh, Michael's very sideways. That lost him a good half a second.
So between these two, any contact though, and SBY will pick this up. Switch back. Lonely P4, Donzo closing in still, but well, their FIBA has passed Junkie Sports. Battle for P6.
Switchback and Donzo will be hoping their race only goes 27 laps. SBY is critical on fuel. As Michael looks to the inside of the Scari. No,
Cat's a nice one. Side by side for Parabolica. Cat's out on the AstroTurf.
It's nice to see two teammates fight each other. I hope we have that at the front.
Here we go again. Indeed, I called it. Down to Parabolica. Does Michael have anything for him? Not this time. He's going to wait for the first chicane. Oh, Michael's got him very hot. Four gathers it up. Oh, he's out on the AstroTurf.
Not going to have the fuel to do another lap.
He's out of fuel already, is he? Or is he waiting? I think he's slowing down to get to the line. It's not going to work. He's too close. He's going to go over the line. Oh, it's okay because obviously everybody will finish.
No, SPY's finished.
Oh, he's finished.
It's between the two green machines, and Michael gets the lead into turn 1. Is he going to stop? Gets pulled it nicely. He's unsafe, have left to fight with.
He had a good run through the first chicane. So, just look back and have a look at everybody finishes. Fever's going to come in P6. Junkie Sports, Steph P8. Iceman and Cats are battling.
To everyone else, but I'm going to keep my eyes on this first place battle. Unsafe's getting rid of his penalty. Down to 0.1.
Still attacking. He's not giving up on this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, now they can fight and throw handbags at it because nobody can overtake them.
True that. Doesn't say Philly, send it. just send it from miles back east. Half a second back. Michael is pulling away in a straight line. Here comes Unsafe back at him.
Unsafe is the little bit on fuel.
It's now the final corner. Iceman and Cats side by side. There's contact. Cats is going to get the run. And Cats is going to steal P9 on the line.
Michael's had a good run through Ascari. It's wasn't safe though, it's 4th, it's coming down, but it's going to have to be a lunge.
Too far back, he's going to be... Oh, he's picked up a half-second penalty. That'll be it, that's race over, I think. Nice race over.
For the second longer race in a row.
Michael triumphs at Monza ahead of his teammate. Another fantastic duel at the flag. That penalty really put pay to any hopes of a last corner lunge from Unsafe. 2 feature race wins from 2 for Michael with the fastest lap to boot. So after a slow burner, once again GT2 serves up a cracking race to watch.
I mean, the GT2 boys keep knocking it out the park week in, week out.
That's a good haul of points for Michael as well then. This week. Within double points. When he was 4th, wasn't he, at no, he was 3rd, wasn't he, at last one, so yeah, very good good week for Michael. Played that wild card to perfection. Unsafe too, also having a very good week.
Unsafe's had a very good week, but unfortunately for him it does mean another P2.
That's 3 from 4 races, isn't it?
No, I mean, I'm fairly consistent. I usually finish 4th, so he's doing better than me. He's finishing P2 every week, so...
Indeed. So right, there we go, that ends the GT2 action for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us, but as always, do not leave us just yet, because we are back tomorrow 8 o'clock for GT1. Coming from Interlagos for the sprint race and Fuji for the main race, so 2 Formula 1 tracks, past and present. How are you feeling about tomorrow, guy?
I'd rather throw up than do Interlagos, but you know.
Well, if you gotta go. It was a good race last Brandon's Indy from the back of the grid, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, 12th to 6th by turn 2. I don't expect to do it again unless City Porsche spins in front of me again, so...
Anything is possible. Yeah. Anything is possible. So yeah, do join us tomorrow night for more GT Sport action from FTRL, but for tonight, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you again